Hi guys and welcome to #SoccerKalitzStyle. As you know, the show that brings you all the latest in football and football-related news. And today we're quickly gonna have to take a look. We're gonna have to take a look at it. Although I don't want to take a look at it, but I have to do it. We're gonna take a look at the weekend's fixtures, the hits and the misses over the weekend. And I have a very special guest with me today. You all know him. His name is Brandon. He has his own YouTube channel for the fans, and he is a Manchester United fanatic, and yeah, today he's on the show to gloat a bit. Hi, Brandon, how are you, man?
I am well. Thanks, Derek, for having me. As you said, I'm on top of the mountain. There was a good weekend for United supporters. Manchester City lost as well, so yeah, good weekend.
Yeah, listen, Brandon, man. Before we head into the nitty gritty of the thing, um, I wanted to just ask you quickly. Do you think that Oli still needs to make any more signings?
Um, Definitely needs to, but will he? That's a different question. All the fans that watch, that follow Man United know that we need a DM. We need a defensive midfielder. But for some reason, our manager does not think so. So our window, I'm pretty sure our window will close just with Varane and Sancho. Derek, Derek, Derek. Hello?
Brandon, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I wanted to know, would you be satisfied if the window closes now for Manchester United just with the signing of Jadon Sancho and Varane?
No, I won't be satisfied. We need a defensive midfielder, but we won't be signing a defensive midfielder this summer. We've spent too much money on Varane and Sancho. So if there is one more transfer, it'll be a right back. But I highly doubt it. I think our window will close with these two signings. And I'm content. I'm content with these two signings because we spent a lot of money. So yeah, I'm content with that. Derek, hello? Derek.
Technical difficulties, man. I don't know from which side it is. Yeah, I was
I can
speaking
hear you.
about this, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was speaking about the game of Arsenal. I don't know if you watched the game, and what was your thoughts on that disappointing performance, nonetheless, from Arsenal?
Yeah, I did watch it. It's typical of your under Arteta. The main thing you'll need to do is sack Arteta. That's the main thing. Or do you still believe in him? Hello?
come in. Where did my fellow colleague just go now of the stream? So yeah, we were speaking about the result of Arsenal, and I have with me Brandon. He's a big Manchester United fan, and as you know, okay, Brandon is now back. Um, he's a big Manchester United fan, and he's just on the show just to gloat a bit about Bruno. But I just want to talk about the negative side of the Arsenal game. Like I said, Brandon, it's better for us right now to sack Arteta. That's the best process we can follow.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like whenever I start talking, something happens. Can you hear me?
I can hear you 100%. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But let's just continue.
Yeah. I think you'll need to sack Arteta. There is clearly bigger problems than Arteta, but the easiest thing to do, I always tell the fans of Man United as well, the easiest thing to change is a manager. When you talk about changing ownerships and changing DOFs, those are long stories, especially the ownership. The quickest thing is to change the manager, and that's what you'll need. Derek. Something like that. Derek.
Brandon, are you still there?
Yeah. It seems like whenever I start talking.
What is happening that side? Okay. Oh, there Brandon goes again. Yeah, so like Brandon said, it's time to sack Arteta. And that would be the best option just to stick Arteta and go for this new manager Antonio Conte. There's been talks about Arteta signing the likes of Martin Odegaard. Not that I think that would make a big difference in the team. Brandon, we're talking about there's a deal being done for Martin Odegaard. Do you think that we should go for him, and do you think that would make a difference in Arsenal's attack?
Definitely you'll need to go for him. You can't create chances. So definitely you'll need to go for him and play him and Emil Smith Rowe together. Don't play either or.
Okay, I hear you. Um, but there was a little bit of controversy in the two Arsenal goals. I think the lose. We weren't prepared for the game. We weren't physically prepared for the game. We were lacking in confidence. We were lacking in ability. We were lacking in a lot of stuff. And Ivan Tony and those boys, they just came at us hard. But that was expected because those guys, they are pumped. It's the first time in 74 years coming to the top flight. Ivan Tony's on top form. That was expected, and we expected it as fans. But looks like Arteta and the players didn't expect it.
I think it's more. I think it's more than that. I think the players have down tools on Arteta. That's the rumors that are coming out now. Aubameyang and Lacazette, they're not sick. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just fighting with Arteta.
I heard it, and I heard that he's currently starting to lose the dressing room, and that's going to be a big problem for us, man. Going into a season and losing the dressing room, it's not cool. Um, what do you think? Yeah, in except for changing Arteta, what do you think Arsenal now needs to do against Chelsea or whoever they get next, Manchester City, just to get the result?
Who's those next game? Chelsea, and then after that, City.
Yeah.
Ooh, and then it's international break.
Yes. So we can go into the international break with no points on the board.
No, that's going to happen. That's a certainty. There's absolutely nothing you can do in terms of on the playing field. Everything that needs to be done needs to happen at board level, where you'll need to sack this manager because there's nothing he can do. There's absolutely nothing. Last season he's supposed to get sacked. You gave him leeway. Coming into the season, he was under pressure to start delivering immediately. It hasn't happened. You will never get anything out of Chelsea. Never. That's impossible. Maybe City. Because City also, that they fumbling. But Chelsea, forget about it, bro.
Okay, man, cool. Thank you, Brandon. Going into the next game, yeah, I think we should. Okay, there's another rumor coming out that Arteta's gonna get sacked, and then Antonio Conte is gonna come in, and that will probably trigger the signing of this Martinez guy. Because as we all know, Inter are in serious financial problems, the same as the rest of Europe. Um, do you think that is just a rumor? Or do you think that can actually materialize that Arteta will be sacked within this transfer window still?
When does the transfer window end? The end of this month, eh?
Yeah, end of the month. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think Arteta can get sacked before the end of the month, especially if you'll once you'll lose to City. If you lose to Chelsea and lose to City, definitely I think he should get sacked. And you'll need to make a move for Conte. That's the perfect manager that needs to come in at Arsenal. Arsenal right now, they need a disciplinarian. They need a tough manager. A manager that's gonna come there and get out all those players with the bad attitude, players that don't wanna run around and don't wanna put the hard yards in on the pitch. Get all those players out. Players with a bad attitude, get them out and make you all hard to beat because you're very easy to beat. Even under Wenger, you were always easy to beat, always easy to score against. Remember when we beat you all 8-2, I think, the one season?
No, man, you're speaking about ages back, man. You're speaking about 10 years back. Some of our people didn't even watch that game.
No, but this is what I'm saying. I'm not banter, bro. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that Arsenal have always been easy to beat. They've always been easy to score goals against. It's always been the case. So you need someone like Conte that's gonna come there and show up your defense, and a disciplinarian and a tough manager that's not gonna take nonsense. That's what you'll need. And he's one of the best managers in the world. Period.
He
One of the
is.
best in the world. So when you get him, he's going to guarantee you a certain level of success. Yes, he's not going to win you the Premier League in the next few years because you don't have the money for it. You're far off. But he can get your top four. In the next 2 seasons, he can get your top four. And which under Arteta, that's impossible.
No,
So
I totally agree with you, Brandon. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I think we do need Conte. I think we do need someone to take us back to a certain level of performance. But that being said, stats say that at the back end of last year or last season, since Christmas, we were the second best defensive team in the league. And how does that add up when you end up ninth?
who was the first?
I don't know who was the first. I think it was City because they tightened up with Diaz this last year after Christmas. I'm not saying the whole of last season, but after Christmas we were the second best defense. And how does it add up?
But that's after Christmas. Why are you judging it just on one period of time? Judge it on the whole season, man.
Listen, before Christmas we had a terrible run of form. A lot of stuff happened, but after Christmas we tried to steady the ship. But yeah, it didn't work, and it was too little, too late. But let's just go off Arsenal. Let's go
I
off.
can remember
Yeah.
Arteta started playing very boring football. Very, very, very boring football. So that's one of the reasons why you were sitting there second on conceded goals. It's one of the reasons. You were playing boring football, you're probably putting numbers behind. But you see now with Conte can do that, but he'll still win your game. That's the difference.
No, you're talking truth. Brandon, okay, thank you very much for Arsenal. Let's head into.
Hello? Derek? Derek?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm heading into Manchester United with Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. Lighting up the scene. How was it for you, man?
It was good to see. Very, very, very good to see. We played an opponent that plays directly into our hands. Manchester United love teams that open up, teams that come and attack us so that we can counter-attack them. That's our style of play is counter-attack. So when Leeds make the same mistake twice because they done it last season and we beat them 6-2, they play into United's hands. And that's what you saw that game. Where United struggle is with low block. Teams that defend with a low block and that are compact. United struggle, but Leeds played into our hands, and it was a spectacle, bro.
Still there, Brandon? Brandon?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I just lost you there. What was your last phrase?
No, I was saying it was a good watch. Good watch. Leeds played into our hands. It's a good watch. Good way to start the season off. Guys, their morale, their confidence is up. So yeah.
And none of the goals that Bruno scored were penalties.
Surprisingly, last season he scored 18 goals in the league, and 9 of them were penalties. So 50% of his goals were penalties. So yeah, amazingly, surprisingly, but this season there's going to be far less penalties in the league, far less.
Listen, Brandon, I just want to touch on the quality of finishing that Bruno Fernandes had. That all those goals were just like it, man. It was brilliant. It was like a young Sergio Aguero. It was like a young Jamie Vardy banging in those goals. The technique that he used, and Paul Pogba assisting him so magnificently. Also assisting Fred. Fred also getting into the act. Where do you see Fred and his progression this season?
Fred's a squad player, and that's what he should be. Unfortunately, at United, him and Scott McTominay start games, but they are squad players. That's what they should be. We need a proper midfield in there, proper defensive midfielder in there. Unfortunately, we won't get that. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes is the best goal-scoring midfielder in the world. No one scores goals like him.
Okay, cool, man. Brandon, you on top of the league with that goal difference. I see we have 2 members coming in and out. I think, yeah, I don't know why they're not leaving a comment to say who they are, where they're from, whatever. But nonetheless, let's just continue. And then your rivals for the league this season, Chelsea, also had a banger. What do you make of the signing of Romelu Lukaku? And do you think he will be, he can do something this season?
I think Lukaku's gonna fire them to the title. That's a top class signing. I don't know why United sold him, but that he's gonna fire them to the title. Chelsea are my title favorites. Lukaku guarantees you 20 goals. So when you put 20 goals in that Chelsea system, that to score a goal against Chelsea is a problem. It's so difficult just to score against him. And now they've got someone on the top that's going to be banging in the goals. So I think that he'll fire them to the title.
Brandon, what's the difference between the Lukaku now and the Lukaku then?
The Lukaku now is much more, obviously, with time you get experience, much more experienced. He feels appreciated more because he's proven himself now by Inter Milan. At Man United, the fans didn't appreciate him. His all-round game was very bad at United. He's improved on that at Inter. He's gone to Italy. And if you read his comments, he said when he went to Inter Milan, Antonio Conte was training him with his back towards goal. For 3 months, that's the only training he done, was back towards goal, teaching him how to hold the ball. He couldn't do that at United. So now he has that ability. Yes, he still doesn't do it like a Harry Kane, like a Lewandowski, like a good striker, but it's okay now. Whereas at United, it was bad. He couldn't even trap a ball at Man United. So now you've got a much more refined Lukaku. You've got an experienced Lukaku, one that knows how to win because he won it in Italy. And yeah, he's going to fire Chelsea to the title, in my opinion.
Okay, cool, man. I think he's still going to be a big flop. I wish he's going to be a flop, and I hope he doesn't score against me next week when we get each other. I hope it's going to be. I'm not sure if it's City first or them. I can't even look at that because our first 10 games our first 10, Brandon.
Yeah.
Our first 10 games has Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, City. I think you all are in there. Wolves, a lot of Leicester, a lot of contenders for the top 4 in our first 10 games. I don't see Arteta. If Arteta doesn't put enough points on the board, he's definitely gone by Christmas.
Look here, I'm going to be honest with you, Derek. What I can see is that if you'll keep Arteta, like even for 5, 6, 7 games, you're going to be the second half of the table. On the second half of the table. And you're going to be almost close to fighting relegation. Because it's bad under this guy. I don't know if you all can see it, but it's bad
It's
under
not.
this.
It is. It is. It is. It
You're going
is.
to be
The
close
process
to
isn't working. The process
fighting
isn't
relegation.
working. I hope
Hello?
we're not gonna. I hope we're not gonna fight relegation, Brandon. I really hope so.
I don't say you will, but the way I can see it, you will be close to that. So I'm looking at maybe in his first couple of games, I'm looking like you can maybe be sitting, let's say, 15, 14 around there in these next couple of
Look,
games because you're not going to pick up anything against Chelsea. I don't know, maybe you've got hopes, but from me and sitting on the outside, hey, no, there's nothing coming by Chelsea. You're not getting nothing there. Maybe at City you can try because City are skidders. 1 week they're hot, the next week they can blow cold. So maybe you can try against City, but Chelsea there's nothing. How are you going to score against Chelsea? That's what you need to answer. How are you going to score?
we always score against them. They had the same defense last season, and we banged 3 past them. We won them home and away. We won you home and away. We won everyone home and away. I do believe that.
You beat Thomas Tuchel.
No, we haven't beaten him yet.
That's the thing. That's the difference. The difference is not the players because those same players were playing under Frank Lampard and they were sitting sixth. What's it? Thomas Tuchel came and he got them and he won them the Champions League. So that's the difference. But nothing to do with those players. It's the manager. The manager makes the difference. See, like you'll need a new manager. That's your problem. You're the manager. So you'll never beat Arteta. I mean, you'll never beat Thomas Tuchel. That guy is one of the best managers in the world. So you're going to struggle to score against him. I'm telling you, since Thomas Tuchel has taken over, Chelsea got one of the best defenses in the Premier League in Europe. Hello?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm listening to you.
No, I said I highly doubt we will even be able to put one goal past Chelsea. And we can also have a review next week and you'll see how it'll be confirmed because to score a goal against those guys under Thomas Tuchel is so difficult. It's so difficult.
Okay, cool, man. Let's head to our last main fixture. I'm not gonna go to the other ones. Just the last main one. That's the main games. Liverpool were also firing. Salah got me some good points. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into that game. I just want to take the last game, City versus Tottenham. Jack Grealish's debut or Jack Grealish's first game for City, running out against Nuno's team and Sonny killing them. What do you make of that game? I know it's still early days, but how was Jack Grealish's performance for you, like in the City team?
It was bang average. Bang, 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 bang average. I would even say poor because he did not even do anything. He never created any chances. I think he maybe went past the fullbacks maybe twice only. At Villa, that was what he was doing consistently with dribbling past players. And maybe twice, 3 times he done it in that game. But a poor performance by his standards, a poor performance. By the £100 million standard, a very bad performance. But it will take time for Jack Grealish to synchronize with Manchester City to understand what he needs to do at Manchester City and to also for Manchester City to realize the player that they have and what they can expect from him. It's going to take time. But one thing I can tell you, City need a striker. If City do not get Kane or any striker, well, they want Kane, no one else. If they do not get Kane, Manchester United and Chelsea will finish above City. That I can guarantee you. Because even last season, I watch City a lot. I watch City every game because I like Pep Guardiola. Last season, it wasn't the players that were performing. It was Pep Guardiola. He found out a way how to win with no striker. Imagine winning with no player that can give you 20 goals. That's not easy to win the Premier League like that. He was making Gundogan score, a midfielder, relying on a midfielder to score goals. So that was the innovation of Pep Guardiola. Now, it can't carry on like that. A false 9 can only take you so far. The teams, after a while, they find you out. Just like Chelsea, they found Manchester City out. Champions League final, they found them out. They said, okay, we'll defend with a low block And we know you can cross the ball all you want. You don't have a number 9 to put the ball in the net. So Manchester City were crossing the ball, and it was just flashing past the goalpost because there's no number 9. There's no one that masters movements in the box. So if they don't get a striker, it's over for City.
Yeah, I do agree, and I do think that Tottenham are going to have a blind of a season this season under Nuno. I think he's a real manager that gets the best out of players. I think he's a real father figure to them, but also makes them work very hard, and he runs every penny out of those players. Do you see any of the Tottenham players improving, and where do you, as we finish off the show, do you see any Tottenham player improving, and where do you see Tottenham realistically finishing this season?
I don't think necessarily improving, because a lot of these players were playing under Pochettino. So if we're judging him from that standard, they were performing at a very high standard under Poch. You talk about Son, Mora. So I don't necessarily say improving like that. But I think Tottenham can finish. I think he will do a good job. I think Tottenham can challenge for a Europa spot. Top four are the big guns this season. No one's coming close to the big guns this season.
That is going to be top 4 is going to be a race to watch. I'm not there. I'm not even in Europa anymore. So I'm not gonna talk too much, as we fell from grace very highly. But I see the top 4. I see the 6 teams. I see the 6 teams fighting for the top 4 is gonna be City, Liverpool, Chelsea, you guys, Leicester, and maybe West Ham again.
Yeah, I think Tottenham can fight. But I guaranteed the 5 that you mentioned, apart from West Ham, guaranteed they will be top 5. And in maybe 6th place, West Ham and Spurs can fight that out. But Leicester will finish 5th. That's all they will finish. The top 4 is City, United, Chelsea, and Liverpool in any order. But those are the top 4. And I even feel that this season, the big teams are much superior to the smaller teams. It's not even like up for debate. Whereas you see in other seasons, there wasn't a big difference between Manchester United and the smaller teams against Chelsea and the smaller teams. There wasn't that big difference. Now the difference is too big. So I actually feel like the big teams, those big 4 teams, the amount of games that they're going to lose, literally you'll be able to count it on one hand. Not even more than that. Because the players that these teams have, they're too good. They're too good.
Yeah, listen, Brandon, man, after game week 1, it was interesting. It was an interesting weekend of football. The teams that won. Teams that lost was a bit surprising. Yeah, probably not Arsenal, but City losing against Tottenham was a bit surprising. Yeah, and that is our little weekend roundup. Brandon, I thank you very much for this little show and this little chat that we could have. I hope next week, Monday somewhere, we can also do it again and then unpack what happened in game week 2.
Sweet, for sure.
And congratulations again, man, on Bruno and his performance, and also Pogba firing. If they can keep that up, I don't see your ending anywhere lower than 2nd.
That's true. I think United will finish somewhere there 2nd, yeah.
Okay, I thank you very much for your time, Brendan. Anything last you want to add to the people watching and the people that's going to watch afterwards?
No, I just want to ask you, what do you think about your CDM Lokonga?
No, I think we have a baller there. I think he does have potential. I think he's a little mini Thomas Partey in some ways. And give him time in the team. I think he should start every game now. I think he's the exact replacement for Thomas Partey. Yeah, I think he's going to be a good player for us. The same as Ben White and the same as Tavares. I think given time, they are going to give and turn up and give the quality that they were signed for.
100%.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, I watched Lokonga for the first time against we all played on the weekend. Yeah, Brentford, and I was surprised. You can see he's a very good. He got a high ceiling. You can just see he got a high ceiling. Fantastic signing, fantastic. So yeah, as you're saying, he needs game time. I think he's about 22 years old or something like that. So he's still very.
He's 23. I think he meant Tavares are 23.
Oh, okay, he's still very, very young, and he's only going to get better. I think you got a top player there. Tierney, your left back. You know what I think of him, one of the best left backs in the league. And Smith Rowe, top young player. Those were the three standout players. Everybody else on that pitch was bad. Bad.
Yeah.
Nick,
No, it's truth. You're not talking lies.
you're saying Pepe is better than Sancho. Pepe can't even dribble past his fullback once. He can't even do it once.
Yeah, no, he had a terrible night, Brandon. I agree with you. Everyone was off the pace at that game. Pablo Mari shouting at Leno in the first 5 minutes. That just set the tone for the game.
Yeah, no. You signed Ben White for 50 million. I hope he can work out because I think he's about a 25 million player. I hope he can work out.
Yeah, you know, almost the English tax, man. English tax. That's what we paid.
You must stay away from them if you're not signing the best. Stay away. Ben White can't even start for his country. What are you doing paying 50 million for that?
Yeah, I think I don't know if they're working on this long-term plan because it's most the Brexit thing, and one of these days there's going to be restrictions on European or English clubs buying European players. They just have to buy homegrown. So I think Arteta then is working on the plan that's going to take place over the next 10 years and not thinking about now. But yeah, listen, Brandon, it's been fun. We can chat the whole day of football, but I don't want to keep you any longer. Still have a lot of stuff to do.
Okay. Cheers, Derek.
Thank you, Brandon, man. See you next weekend, Monday.
All right. See you. Bye.
Cool, boss. See you.